Okay, this is Johnny Concert. How we doing? Welcome to the Johnny Concert podcast. And with me, as always, is Ledbelly. Ledbelly!
Yeah, it's great to be back, Johnny.
Hey, man.
Nice.
So, before we start into the topic of the day, we got a ticket stub of the day. My ticket stub of the day is the Headbangers Ball. We'll put like an overlay or something on there so you can see it a little better. But it was in, let's see what we got here, 1987. And it was at Mammoth Event Center here in Denver, Colorado. Now it's called the Fillmore Auditorium, but back then it was called the Mammoth Event Center. And it was Grim Reaper was the headliner. Halloween was before that. Sabotage was before that. Armored Saint was before that. And there was supposed to be a band called Jag Panzer out of Colorado Springs. Jag Panzer features a guitar player named Kristen Pelletieri, who's just a phenomenal guitar player. And it was one of our Colorado local bands growing up in the 80s and stuff. But there was a snowstorm. They couldn't make it from Colorado Springs up to Denver for the show. So Jag Panzer did not show up. And the thing about that was funny, too, is I was at CSU. I was at Colorado State at the time, in Fort Collins, Colorado, about an hour drive. And I couldn't nobody wanted to come down to the show with me. I'm like, I'm going to this show. I'm determined. So Eddie Murphy happened to be playing at the Big Mac, McNichols Arena. We called it Big Mac. And so these buddies, the guys lived on the hall, said, hey, we'll get you as far as Big Mac if you want to get a ride with us. I said, shit, yeah. So then I hitchhiked from Big Mac to the Fillmore, which is probably, 2 miles maybe. And so I was walking, and this guy picked me up. It was like an old hobo guy. Dude. He was a hoarder. His whole car was almost like we were up to our necks in stuff. And then he had, it was like a old boat, it barely ran. It was coughing and spewing and spitting. And he's like, I'll take you down to Mammoth, I don't care. This old guy, it seemed like he was drunk. He had a black face, like he was a homeless guy, it looked like, but he lived in his car, I think. So he got me down there, sure enough. And right when I walked in, Armored Saint was just taking the stage. And Armored Saint, I don't care what anybody says, is one of the best heavy live bands of all time. One of the best, not heavy metal live bands, live bands, period, of all time. And of course, I've seen 4,000 concerts, so. I've seen a couple good bands in my life. But Armored Saint, they're unstoppable live. They're in your face, high, aggressive, powerful. It's like they hit you in the mouth, and they never let you back up for the rest of the concert. They're just phenomenal. So, and they were on the Book of Blood was the song they were playing. What's that? Delirious Nomad tour. Yeah, their second album was Delirious Nomad. And so they came in, and I came in, and they're playing Book of Blood, dude. It was just a fucking hell of a song. So anyway, that's my Headbangers Ball story. You know what else? No, there's more to it. The Grim Reaper was like the first time I moshed. It was the first time I moshed.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why it took so long. Well,
that brings me to my first question I came up with when you started on your diatribe about that excellent experience.
They call it more of a story than a diatribe.
As far as dialogue, I got things to go with my verbiage. But the darn Mammoth, we used to have. There was different stage orientations for
Good
that.
point.
So
Good
how
point.
was that at that night?
That night it was sideways. So now,
right.
But it is now a Fillmore Auditorium. It's
southwest kind of thing.
Like it's in the north.
I mean,
on the north wall. This one was on the east wall.
Yeah, where everything has all the pictures now. There was actually a stage.
It has the pictures now. It was a stage, so it was wider than and less and shallower. So instead of deeper and skinnier.
Actually, it's amazing when I saw a band there where I actually snuck in because there was an alley entrance.
Right. It was backstage when it was on the side. I was backstage, and I was just side stage when it was on the other.
And I was like, I'm backstage.
Which one do you think was better? I kind of thought though, usually you want if you're setting up some speakers, usually you want them on the long wall. Not the short wall.
It was limited concessions at that time. I believe. I don't know. It's always been limited, as a matter of fact.
Not anymore. They just put a bunch of bars in.
Yeah. Well,
it's
now,
added a couple bars.
Shit all over it. On the
but
floor
back, you're right. But we always had our little ways back then. We brought in a flask and did whatever we did.
Did Ozzy in that configuration?
I saw Ozzy there, but No More Tours tour with Zakk Wylde. First time Zakk Wylde played.
And I got
we were there.
What was it? Rage Against the Machine.
Configuration. Wow! I never saw Rage Against the Machine there.
With like a VIP section
what?
in front.
You saw Rage Against the Machine at the Mammoth?
No.
You got to be kidding
And we
me,
were all
dude. That's
sitting.
bullshit.
Everybody was sitting, dude.
How the hell did I miss that concert?
A VIP fucking section.
Oh, you
where
were
we couldn't
sitting there
get down.
sitting during Rage Against the Machine?
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
The music won't let you sit.
Yeah.
It's just too.
Maybe
too
I'm
much
thinking it
going
was
on.
a different band, but I'm
Too-
almost certain
too
that I
powerful,
wouldn't
too,
be that bad off.
Too full of
by this
angst.
age.
Too full of. just pure. No, you can't sit at a Rage Against the
It
Machine.
was like, yeah.
Anybody sits at a Rage Against the Machine concert, they need to be
It was
ejected
totally,
immediately.
yeah, and that's why I've had issues with a lot of.
I can't
shows
believe
go
Zach
to.
De La Rocca would let anyone sit at one of his concerts.
Yeah,
That's
maybe,
ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe it was a section of their career where it was like we're going to gain control.
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. That just doesn't
Of course,
sound
I
right
could
to me. Are
have
you
a-
sure that concert
little,
existed in Ledbelly, or you have not a dream?
Delirium.
I think you had a dream one time about that, dude. I think Rage Against the Machine.
I have to
They didn't
remember.
play the
I'm
Mammoth,
almost
dude.
certain that was
They
the
didn't
group.
play the Mammoth, dude.
And it was no. It
You're
was
thinking
the
Jane's
Mammoth.
Addiction. You're thinking Jane's
and a-
Addiction with Primus opening
No.
up. I was at that one.
Yeah, well,
Because there was no Rage Against the Machine. Did not. I don't think that concert existed, dude. I think he made it up. I gotta tell you,
I took my old lady, and she was a huge fan.
Okay,
We were
all
on
right.
third row.
I'm just a little jealous, is all.
It was like, oh damn, yeah.
Pardon me. I'm just a little jealous, is
Yeah,
all.
I mean, it's just bizarre. Like, nobody knows. But if anybody knows about that, that's what we want to hear. If
Well,
you were there, if you
Good
can
point.
contradict
Yes, please.
that,
Yeah,
fine.
comments. We love
'Cause
comments.
If I'm already in the stages of dementia,
Dementia,
so
I'm telling
be
you.
it.
Well, so there's one thing to forget you were somewhere. There's another thing to invent something that never happened. That's two different things.
No, I guarantee I was there. If it was,
All right. I believe you, Ledbelly.
and it was, like you said, it's so
Anyone else, I'd question it, but-
counterintuitive to sit down.
There's
And
been
then I wound up going to the first Coachella,
okay.
and I got to sit. My old lady
For
said,
Rage Against the
"No,
Machine."
you got a cage." Yeah, they were. I had a cast on because I jumped off the stage at the last McNichols.
He's a
show,
jumper, man. You got to watch out for this guy.
and that was ZZ Top, and I wound up hurting myself at a ZZ Top.
Hey,
rehearsal,
man.
and that's a great story in
That's
itself.
another story. But so the Rage Against the Machine did play Open Lollapalooza, the first Lollapalooza, which was at Fiddler's Green in Denver,
There's
Colorado.
another, yeah.
That was the first one. Was
That's where I
Rage,
did
they only
see
played
him,
for
yeah.
20 minutes, dude. They were so good, but they only played for 20 minutes. It's like, come on now.
Yeah.
It's a tease. It's a tease. But
And I
that-
was already aware. Yeah, it was a good thing. And then I missed Tool that time because it was like.
well,
they
yeah.
were
So
on
now
a
Tool
damn-
was the second at Lollapalooza. They were on the side stage of the second
Oh, the
Lollapalooza,
very-
not the first
okay,
one.
so
Not the
I'm
first one.
confused
Yeah,
again.
they weren't the first one.
Oh,
Though
my.
it's hard to keep those Lollapalooza
59,
bands
I'm
together,
getting-
dude, because there was like 7, 8, 10 great bands of each one, and there were such great, such like. In different stages of their career, so like Rage Against the Machine gets 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Tool was on the side stage, not the main stage. So it was at a time when there was a lot of different things going on. It's hard to remember all those.
Yeah,
which was which
and
one?
I've seen a lot of their stuff. I went to the Democratic convention thing for free. That was stupid, but
But it was worth it to see Rage Against the Machine.
yeah, for free. And I saw him at this Coliseum previous to that, and it was a real good show. So on the
Well, politics aside.
again,
So
right?
on this ticket stub though, the tour
And
was
what you were talking about
Halloween, dude. Halloween was killer. They got that
Oh,
dual
yeah.
guitar kind of Iron
Halloween
Maiden
is
thing
coming-
going on, and Michael Kiske has got his voice goes so high, and he's so dynamic and
Halloween
powerful.
will be appearing here in Denver before this broadcast. By the time this is published, you will be able to buy tickets and go to a Halloween show.
Yeah, where are they playing?
And I highly recommend it because they were here
They're very good.
a couple of years
Very
ago.
good band.
And I was finally privileged to see them, and they just roll.
They're not the super upper echelon, but they're up there. They're up there.
Yeah,
But they were good, very good that night. And then Savatage, they got to their little classical music thing going on with Hall of the Mountain King. That's
Oh,
Edvard
right.
Grieg. So they do the Hall of Mountain King, which is just fantastic. And that's also Al Petrelli on guitar, along with the Oliva brothers. And then Al Petrelli went on to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra fame. Oh, well, he played for Megadeth for one album. Then he went to helped Paul O'Neill engineer the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. See how I got the word engineer in there when I talked about the Trans-Siberian Railroad? See? It was just see what I did there?
As in, is there a collaboration there?
The TSO is a big collaboration, dude. It's the Savatage guys, and then they get a bunch of guest musician guitar guys. But the guitar player, it's Oliva and Petrelli from Savatage. Yeah. What's going on over there? Hi there.
Yeah. So we're
Hi there, kitty cat.
we're getting
So
some
anyway,
cat.
so enough about that concert. It was a fantastic concert.
Excellent
And then the
recollection, because
the-
I was in Fort Collins and I think I skipped that one.
You did? Oh man, I would have given you a ride at least to Big
I
Mac.
know. I wish I had been
could have
hanging
got
out
you to
that
Big
time,
Mac at
'cause
least.
I think we were it was a year or two later we started chilling.
Well, we'll skip the drumstick of the day award and we'll go straight to the topic of the day. The topic of the day is long-term bands and what was the album that they peaked on. The first one that comes to mind for me is this one of my favorite bands, Iron Maiden, one of the best bands in the history of the world, of course, is Iron Maiden. Now, Iron Maiden, they changed one member every album of the band, the first 5. So from album 1, which is called Iron Maiden, and to album 2, which is called Killers, they switched Dennis Stratton out for Adrian Smith. And from Killers to 666 Number of the Beast, they switched the singer out. They switched Paul Di'Anno to Bruce Dickinson. Yeah. Then the 4th album, they switched the drummer, Clive Burr, for Nico McBrain. And then the 5th album is Power Slave, and that's their peak. I mean, those first 4 albums are absolutely incredible. Phenomenal albums. And whether it's Di'Anno or Dickinson. But Power Slave is where it all came together. It's an epic album. It's got a 14-minute song, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, of course, based on the Samuel Taylor Coleridge poem of the same name. And the 7-minute Power Slave, which is incredible. They've got the Lost for Words, which is an instrumental.
Instrumental, yeah.
It took me years to understand the Lost for Words, because it's Losfer, Losfer, like it's one word.
Right.
I thought maybe it was an old Egyptian god or something like that. Losfer.
It's a great song for bands without a singer.
It's a great song for bands without a singer. There we have it. But they had Bruce Dickinson. But anyway, they had the Duelists. They had 2 Minutes to Midnight. They had Aces High, the opening song, Aces High, one of the best. I mean, are you kidding me, dude? You feel like you're in a freaking in a World War II aircraft, fucking going up behind a Japanese. I mean, it's just incredible.
Hallmark album, indeed.
Incredible. It's definitely their peak. Now, what we're talking about here is peak albums, the peak album of a long-term band, but it's not going to be what the record sales say necessarily. It's not going to be what the mainstream fans maybe say. It's what Johnny Concert says. It's what Ledbelly says, and that's
Let that be known.
just so less shall be written, so it shall be done.
If you have other contrary beliefs, yeah,
just leave a comment, because I guarantee you will have a lot of people will have other beliefs. They will. So leave a comment and we'll discuss it. We'll consider your little rinky-dink opinion for a minute before we. I'm kidding. Kidding, of course. Tell us what you think. Tell us if you think Power Slave is Iron Maiden's peak album.
One of the amazing.
Because Somewhere in Time was fantastic.
Right there. Dude. So how about?
I mean, Somewhere in Time is an incredible album. The next album.
I think everybody knows this. That we don't There's a lot of metal influx into what our dialogue goes to, but we also go through the
because it's just the best
classics.
Well, we go all the way through. I mean, I had tickets to the symphony orchestra when I was growing
anything
up.
with influence.
So you play classical piano.
Like you say, if it has merit, we're going to talk about it.
I mean, absolutely, but the best musician in the history of the world, in the history of the world, who exemplifies music, who is music incarnate, who is the most powerful, most amazing, prolific, baddest ass person who actually is just music incarnate. Who's the most powerful? Who's of all time, Ledbelly? It's obvious.
Well, there's that guy.
It's Mozart. Mozart is music, dude. You can't out-touch Mozart. I mean, he wrote "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star," which is for ABC, A B C D E F G. He wrote that, so he basically wrote the alphabet. He wrote like every word you say is almost Mozart. You know, he's phenomenal.
The Western ear was trained by Mozart, is what you're telling me.
I'm telling you that in the history of the music, back to Gregorian chant, nobody could touch Mozart.
Well, yeah, he developed it to the point that everybody's kind of consistent, I guess, is what you're getting at.
No, he just was music. He just is music.
They follow his lead,
he is
and
music,
it hasn't ever.
Nobody could ever top him. I mean, he wrote so many pieces. So in the classical world, a lot of times they refer to a piece, they'll say opus 395 or whatever. Opus means work, and so they'll call a piece of music an opus. Well, Mozart was so prolific that he had his own set of numbers named kosher numbers. And so this guy, because a lot of times he'd write so much music that people couldn't keep it straight, and some of it didn't have a title. And then he'd name it later, or maybe it wouldn't. It should be like Etude 47, or it'd be Piano Concerto, whatever number. But then so this guy named Koechel, Koechel, I believe you pronounce it with an umlaut, decided to catalog Mozart's music because there was so much of it. And he cataloged it with these Koechel numbers.
Made the first album.
From the first piece when he was like 7.
That was the
no,
first
he was,
album.
I was 7. He was like 3. He was like 3 or something like that.
Well, I'm saying someone actually can put the compilation together.
That's right.
We're
number one.
talking about
There's
the
a
first
Koechel number 1.
album.
I think it was a minuet, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
yeah. I see what you're saying. I see your point.
Record.
I see your point. Yes,
Compilation.
But nobody in the history of music has ever had their own set of numbers, dude, for their works because they're so prolific.
These guys
and they're
so prolific. Again.
And he also wrote the first.
We're not going to say which one was the best. I don't think.
So back in the day, too, by law, all operas had to be in Italian. They could not be any other language. For years, decades, even 100 years. I don't know exactly how long, but forever. Till Mozart. Mozart wrote the first German opera in German. Now he was Austrian, so he spoke several languages. Because in Austria, Switzerland, those things, you got German, French, English, you got all kinds of languages being spoken there. And so, but the first opera, and he wrote operas in Italian, obviously. But he wrote the first opera that was not in Italian. It was in German, and so that's just how powerful he was because you couldn't do that. You just could not do that. It simply wasn't done.
You know something, you learn something new every day.
So do you have an album? Do you have a band with a peak album, Ledbelly?
I'm gonna get with the. We start with a little group they call the Beatles because they.
The Beatles.
For me, just because. You didn't bring it into your
Well, I started with the most obvious
outline.
one that just jumps out to me is Iron Maiden because it's just so Power Slave is so incredible that it just.
Well, yeah, I mean it's such a great example because that's the progression of music.
Yeah. So you get better, and then they go boom, they peak, and then
something happened.
No, they stayed on a peak for a while.
I guess so. The Beatles basically never had a chance to find that because everybody wanted more. So.
Well, a lot of people's first introduction to Beatles was the best of the Blue album and the Red album and best of stuff.
Yeah, again,
or you hear it on the radio. A lot of people didn't have albums.
Compilations that tend to be a great representation of people's. A little bit of a section of their work span, I guess.
So what's their peak, Ledbelly? What's their peak album?
Well, I'd like, of course, everybody would.
Rubber Soul, the White Album.
I enjoy Rubber Soul immensely.
I don't know Rubber Soul very often.
Just because it has some really cool songwriting.
Let's spit that out.
And just a little bit of, crazy stereophonics and whatnot. But of course, Sgt. Pepper's.
Sgt. Pepper's, another one.
Was an epitome that people.
But
should
a little bit goofy
if they haven't heard it. But I love to hear something like the White Album because
excuse me.
It's a double album and it has immense diversity, which kind of represents where I have as a musicology, a record album aficionado. You got to have a little of this, a little of that on the record.
Of course.
So, progressive bands are kind of where we're at. And
so what's the peak? Was it Rubber Soul? Was it White Album? Was it Sgt. Pepper's? What's the peak? What's the peak album?
I think that their iconic and hallmark work would be Sgt. Pepper's.
Sgt. Pepper's. I'm thinking that same thing
because White Album is so diverse.
That's a tricky one. That's not to me. It's not as clear cut as
and they do have some nice little EPs too. So
that's a tricky one. You're right, but I'm telling you, the way I grew up on the Beatles was the Red Album and the White Album.
Yeah, that's.
Excuse me, Red Album and the Blue Album.
Which are different sections.
Which was
like
60s,
library.
70s, and 70s, 80s kind of thing, or whatever it was. It had a decade of years on them.
Yeah, it was like the first part of their career, which was a lot of
I want
really
to hold your
more
hand.
raw stuff. And
then they went to
rock and roll
I Am the
stars
Walrus. They went from I Want to Hold Your Hand to Yeah, you're right. Okay, Ledbelly. All right, that's not bad.
But I don't know. It just occurred to me because it wasn't going to be brought up in your realm.
Things occur to me from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Let's start at the beginning. Why not start at the beginning?
But
I understand.
From there, it was Pink Floyd, so obviously you got...
Pink Floyd, you can't do that. You can't. There's no
Again,
peak.
It's hard to tell.
Album.
But, of course, The Wall, there's nothing after that.
Animals. Is Animals before or after The Wall? Animals is after The Wall. That's the best album.
Well, Animals was actually right between The Wall and Dark Side of the Moon. So.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Dark Side of the Moon 73.
Actually,
Dark Side of the Moon 73.
before
The
Wish
Wall
You Were
77.
It was before Wish You Were Here. Yeah.
Dark Side 73. I think it's Animals at 78.
No, it was 75, and then it was Wish You Were Here, and then it was The Wall in 79.
Not 75.
Yeah,
well,
75.
we never producer looked that one up.
77 was the Wish You Were Here album.
So right, and I think Animals is after that.
Well, then I might have it backwards.
I'm not sure though. We got to double check that. Animals is the best Pink Floyd album.
That's what we need our experts.
But,
There's somebody on the
that's
internet
different than the Peak. The best album of all time is different than the Peak, dude. That's a whole different thing. So I'll do another one.
Well, there's
Metallica.
some creativity in that one for sure. I love Animals.
No, I know a good one to do. Animals is incredible. There's just nothing can stop.
I think there's a lot to be said for Animals. I wish we could talk more about it.
Nothing to talk about. We'll do that another time. The Pink Floyd's a whole other thing. But think about the Red Hot Chili Peppers, dude. Red Hot Chili Peppers start off so strong. I mean, the Red Hot Chili Peppers album, the Uplift Mofo Party Plan album. They had the Mother's Milk album, which is the kind of their metal album.
That one got the airplay that they were.
Did I miss one more? Freaky Styley, of course, duh. Freaky Styley, and then so they had the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Uplift Mofo Party Plan, Freaky Styley, Mother's Milk was their fourth album, and it's heavy metal. It's one of my favorites. It's an absolutely incredible album.
Absolutely.
But Blood Sugar Sex Magic was their peak.
Oh, there we go. That's
I mean, it's an incredible album. It was like 20 songs, and hits, but they weren't really hits. They just kind of became hits, like Give It Away now.
Yeah, Touch My Kiss.
By the way,
Suck My Kiss.
Yeah, Suck My Kiss. But wait a minute. What? So when they say give it away now, what's it? What are they giving away? Give it away now. What are they giving away?
It's still unquestioned.
It's a mystery.
To this day.
I don't think it's a fact. I don't think it's one thing. I thought then you drink a little water. So that's like peyote because the video has them in the desert. So if you're in the desert and you take peyote, you drink a little water to wash it down, and then you're tripping in the desert like the ancient ones.
Yeah, I think
but
so.
then also, how come everybody want to keep it like a Kaiser? Well, you're not trying to keep peyote like a Kaiser, so that doesn't make sense. So is it love? Maybe it's love. Give it away now. Give love away now. Is it love, or it could be gold? Maybe it's gold.
It's prophecy.
Give your money away because money's evil. I don't know.
Austrian-Hungarian Empire is going to rise again.
The Caliphate? No, that's different. So. If you know what they're talking about when they say "give it away now," please leave a comment. And I haven't looked it up. Of course you can look it up, but that's ridiculous.
Amazing, but
I want people that just know it.
Well, they have the extra,
not the people that go on AI bullshit. Anyway, so Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and nobody can. Now they had probably albums after that that even sold more. And people, if they see the Chili Peppers, they think of Under the Bridge or some of that bullshit.
Yeah, their anthems.
Scar Tissue that I wish you saw. I mean, come on, dude. They wrote a song called Scar Tissue that I wish you saw. Like, well, you've got scars on the inside.
Soul to squeeze.
Oh, no. You had to fuck strippers and do the best heroin in all the world and go be a rock star, but you got scars on the inside. Fuck off, dude. That's ridiculous. But anyway, I still love the Chili Peppers. But they sure went downhill after that. Wow, we're killing it. We are killing it. All right, do you have another one, Ledbelly?
The mighty Van Halen.
Van Halen. There's no. You can't talk about Van Halen. There's no peak. What do you mean peak? Well, maybe you can't. Fair warning. Fair warnings are peak.
I mean, okay, we did get convoluted because we had a different tangent in mind.
But there's different. There's just so many different iterations of Van Halen. But of course, David Lee Roth era is the best, and of course, Fair Warning's the best album of that. I mean,
right. Well, there's
fourth album.
There's
incredible.
4 great albums in a row. So.
There's 4 in a row.
I think there's controversy.
4 albums don't have 1 weak link on them, dude. There's not even really 1 weak note on those first 4 albums.
Right. So if
they're so fucking good, dude.
Thinks they know, maybe they want to tell me why they know.
Who knows?
Because there's so much to say about each album, and they all have their.
Oh yeah, Van Halen 1, Van Halen 2, Women and Children, and Fair Warning are absolutely unbelievable.
So, but after Diver Down even.
Diver Down's fantastic. 1984 is fantastic, but the peak was to me was Was it Van Halen? Fair warning.
Well, I used
What do you
to
think?
crank women and children first constantly.
Oh, kidding
in
me?
my car when I
Kidding me?
first got my good car stereo.
Everybody wants some.
I thought that was the coolest thing.
It's about as cool as it gets.
The Boulevard with.
And even that album cover where Eddie's got his leg out and his guitar, his hair.
Yeah.
It's so badass.
But Van Halen 2 is just immense.
Van Halen 2 is just so
And of
goddamn
course, Van
good.
Halen 1
Somebody
was like,
give me a doctor.
Yeah.
By the way, Van Halen, some of the best background vocals of all time.
Yeah,
Michael Anthony
Michael Anthony, sure.
and Eddie Van Halen doing the background for David Lee Roth. That was just very cool.
Oh,
very
yeah,
cool.
those days.
Underrated background vocals for sure.
That's why we get together, Johnny, because
Somebody give me a shot.
I caught the end of that kind of stuff. You know, they started in the 70s.
Yeah, they did. 78 for Van Halen 1, 78. Good stuff.
And then, you watch the progression.
But, some people's going to say
people trying
Sammy
to
Hagar,
be the best.
5150s their peak. Some people are going to say, I don't know what they would say, but they might say 5150, right? You think somebody would say that? I mean, it's got to be fair warning.
You know what?
As good as Diver Down 984.
I know there are people that say that, for sure, yeah.
Well, leave a comment. That's one you could argue all the time on for sure, Van Halen. I would even accept arguments.
Yeah, what an amazing
I still think fair warning. but I would
volume
accept
of work,
arguments.
really, when it comes down to it, and great.
Yeah, even that
albeit.
cheesy Gary Sharon album's pretty good. I gotta say.
Right,
Van
yeah.
Halen 3.
And I wish
that's
let's see.
not bad, dude. I'm telling you.
These other ones
But
are-
still, they can't. Oh, You Hate When 2 is a great album. But you
Yeah,
just
they-
can't touch.
They never did stop progressing, really. They were great. But
What's your favorite Van Halen story?
well, working at the snowstorm show at Fiddler's, where I was.
Oh, yeah. I was there. It was about a foot of snow at Fiddler's.
Yeah.
It was in May, I believe. Or was it?
Yeah, it was.
I think it was May. It was like one of the last shows of the season.
Early,
So,
May,
so we thought we'd be wearing shorts, and I think we were wearing shorts actually.
Yeah, there was a lot of people.
because and I remember
prepared.
there was a lot of people at that concert. It was really packed.
And I got
Fiddler's
to
holds
watch-
18,000. It was full.
I was hired for
was good.
security, so I.
Were ya?
Yeah, I only got to see a limited amount of it, but I walked through the entire amphitheater on my break.
Wow.
And it was just like snowing,
It
dime-sized.
was snowing as we were
snowflakes
watching, but
and-
it already had built up. I think it was kind of a out of nowhere snowstorm. It wasn't like it snowed the day before. They probably would have canceled the concert. So it was kind of like as we were doing, as it was coming. But I remember standing at like 6 inches to 12 inches of snow.
Oh yeah, people were getting covered. 'cause
More
of
closer
huge
to 12.
flakes.
Yeah, it was crazy.
My old lady was working backstage. Sammy gave her a hot cup of cocoa.
Who
she
did?
said. My lady Becky
Who gave her the cocoa?
Hagar.
Hagar, nice.
Mr. Sammy Red Rocker.
That was
Hagar.
a great. We love Sammy Hagar. He's still doing it too, man.
And yeah,
talking about
his
longevity.
show at the Folsom Field when they,
Yep.
had fired David Lee Roth.
Right. 1986.
And they finally had their new
96.
album.
So,
and
so my
on
buddy
tour.
Pete Barnes and Greg Bly and I, we slept out for 3 nights for that concert, dude. We found this little, there was like a church, and next to the church there's a little house where the priest lived, and he had a little parking lot area in front of his house. And we just knocked on the door and said, hey, we're going to a concert in 3 days from now. Can we park in your parking lot and camp out here? And he's like, sure, go ahead, no
those
problem.
are the days.
So we had air mattresses and tents, and we slept out for 3 nights. And the last night,
Oh yeah, I
we
remember
went to- we
standing
went-
in line next to tents and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, we went into town last night, and we came back, and there was a barricade up. They didn't want us to go where we were already parked in the inside where they put the barricade up. And we taken these
Yeah, 'cause
mushrooms.
people were lining up.
We took these mushrooms, went down, and got a bunch of food, and was bringing it back to the other guy. It was Pete Barnes and John Odom was there too. There were 4 of us. So Bly and I went to get the concessions. At the concessions, we went into town to get some hot dogs and stuff, whatever it was. When we come back, and these guys were like, "You can't go past here." So we just looked at each other and we just started running as fast as we could, dude. These guys were chasing us, dude. They had no chance in hell to catch us, dude. We were vaulted over
Into the
6-foot
void.
fences, and then also I remember running so far that also it was just dead silent. I was like, "Where the fuck am I?" And I went over this fence, and I was just sitting there hiding. And all of a sudden, I'm like, "There's nobody anywhere near me." So it took me a while to figure out where we were and find my way back.
You're not going to
And then
dissuade me.
Then we were drinking Everclear, and we were just completely passed out like dead of the world. And also we hear this crowd, the roar of this crowd, and they had a barricade. They were leading the crowd up. They had everyone else line up down below. We were already inside the area where they were supposed to be lined up. So they were walking up. We just got right in the front.
Yeah.
And then what they did was
right there.
And that, back then they had us. You could bring your own whatever you wanted in. So we had a cooler full of just booze. It was just booze. It was like Watusi juice, where you put one Everclear liquid in there, including Everclear, and a bunch of Kool-Aid or whatever it was. And then you carry it, like, it was a cooler big enough that each person takes a handle, right? But they let us in at the back of the stadium. It's in Folsom Field, which is where the Colorado CU Buffaloes play, which is a football field.
Yeah, that's exactly
right. So let us in the back, and we had to do a 100-yard dash to get to the front row.
Yep.
So we're running there with our coolers, dude, and we're chucking down there. And we're like, no, we spent 3 days for this, dude. We're going down front.
Fuck yeah,
so we were basically like what I would call second row, because there's couple people in front of us. And it was BTO, then Dio, then Loverboy, then Van Halen.
Yeah.
And it was on the 5150 album. But we were such Van Halen freaks, dude. And we were like, what's better, Eat 'em and Smile or 5150? And Dave left, and there was like a competition. It's like Dave said, watch this. Here's my album.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and Eat 'em and Smile blew both 5150 out of the water, dude. Eat 'em and Smile so goddamn good with Steve Vai on guitar, Billy Sheehan on bass,
dude,
and Greg
I saw that
Bissonette
show
on drums.
too.
Fantastic, dude. That album, I'm sorry to say, it blows 5150 away.
Yeah, that show was amazing, man.
But that was the big deal. Was like, well, oh my God, it's not David Lee Roth, it's Sammy Hagar. What's it going to sound like? And there was another night.
That was a big scene, dude.
The night before, too, what we had done is we had gone by the Harvest House, which is the hotel, the big hotel right next to Folsom Field, all the bandstand. And we saw Alex Van Halen and Sammy Hagar, or maybe it was Michael Anthony, or both of them. It was Alex Van Halen for sure. It was sitting at the bar. And then also the security comes up and says, what are you guys doing? We're like, then we had to run from security too. We were running all night that night for sure. It was phenomenal. Oh, yeah. It was one of my best rock and roll stories. But the next day we had Hair of the Dog. We were drinking Everclear at 8 in the morning. And then Ronnie James Dio was looking right at us. Look out! Ronnie James Dio pointed at you and you knew he was looking right at you. Floor. Dude. He looked at you. But we digress. What's another one? What's another peak album? Those are Van Halen stories like nobody's business.
God damn it.
Metallica, dude.
That was the one, yeah, Metallica.
So Metallica, of course, Kill 'Em All.
I think
you got
excited when
you got
Black
your Master
came
Puppets.
Out, and it did hit all the fucking
got your Garage Days revisited, then you got your And Justice for All. That's their peak. And
Justice when it boils
Black
down
Album's
to their epoch.
That's their peak, dude. That's their apex.
At least in the initial chapter.
It just is, dude. I mean, because the Black Album's whatever, dude. She's got some good songs on it, I guess. But come on, that's commercial. They got Bob Rock on the producer, dude. What the fuck you want Bob Rock for? He's a Bon Jovi guy.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Trying to get mainstream.
Metallica should be a little bit embarrassed about that one, and for sure the next two. I mean, that's ridiculous. But And Justice for All, woo! Blackened in the end. Harvester of Sorrow, Short of Straw. Dyer's Eve. Oh my God.
That was just
oh my God. Just wow, is that good? And you got Cliff reading a poem, and you got all kinds of stuff going on. Jason Newton, of course, Cliff had just died.
Yeah, Dyer's Eve.
God rest his soul. And Dyer's Eve, man. Dyer's Eve, that's what I was trying to think of, yeah. It was just wow. So I guarantee I'll get some. Huh? I'm thinking I'll get some, these truths. I should be able to quote that whole thing. I'm drawing a blank for a second here. But people are going to argue on that one, I think.
And of course, they're still immensely popular.
They're still putting out great albums. And I'm not saying those albums weren't good.
Death Magnetic, but people put out $50 to buy it.
Dude,
what is that thing that
Death Magnetic's good, but I bought it. I've only listened to it one time.
What's that record now that they're touring on?
Oh, I forgot.
The yellow and black thing. I don't know.
There's a new one, yeah.
It's something for $50 at the shows.
But we just saw
directly from the artist. You're paying $50
$50 directly. They've sold over 100 million albums, and they got more money than God. Come on, just give it to us. At this point, just give it to us.
So I don't have.
Here's what people don't understand: is ultimate. They don't understand marketing 101. Is if Metallica came out to the press conference and said, "You know what? We love our fans so much. We made so much fucking money. Dude, we're just giving this album away. We're giving it. Just call us and we'll mail it to you." And we don't care.
YouTube,
we don't care. Just call us. We'll mail it to you.
That's what they do
and
on
you know
YouTube.
What everyone would do? Everyone would buy one of their shirts because they said, well, we got the album for free. Now we can buy a shirt. And they probably make more money if they gave the album away, because everyone would be like, aren't they great? And everyone would buy concert tickets to their shows, and everyone would buy all their old albums, and everyone would buy merchandise, and if they're getting $50 an album, they'd make $100 a person if they gave it to people for free.
Just show how many people.
And feel free to steal that, any bands in the
throw
future.
in the middle.
I'm telling you, it's a genius, dude. And everyone would be like, and people would erect statues to them, dude. They'd be like, aren't they the best of all time? It'd be groundbreaking news that it would break the record industry. And it would be, like the Today Show would be talking about it. All the late night shows would have them on. I mean, they'd make so much more goddamn money than they ever have. Steal that one, Metallica. It's all you. But we just went and saw Metallica for 2 nights at Mile High
They
Stadium.
still represent.
It was absolutely incredible.
They're still
it was phenomenal.
Yeah,
it was wow. It was Friday was an A, Sunday was an A plus.
Yeah,
that's how good it was.
Yeah, the beauty of playing 2 entirely different sets.
Just different sets, and they all week before that concert, because I see Metallica after I saw them in 1985 with Armored Saint. I saw them every time they ever came for 23 times in a row after that. So I just, if they played 3 nights, I watched 3 nights. If they played 2 nights, I watched 2 nights. And so I love the band Metallica. So all week I was singing to myself, bang your head on the stage, make it bleed, make it really sore, because we're Metallica. We're thrashing all around, acting like a maniac. Whiplash. And they opened up with that song on Sunday night, which I thought they probably wouldn't even play that song.
Yeah.
And they opened up with it Sunday night, and I about lost my mind. It was so goddamn cool to open up with that song.
Haters, I just gotta laugh. Sorry.
But they got the word Metallica in the song too.
But again, they got they got a long career. So yeah, we're talking about what was the best part of it.
I don't care though. Their peak was "And Justice for All."
As far as recordings,
it just
or
was
legacy.
Dude. It just was.
But
they're still
there's
riding high.
a lot to talk about when it
high,
comes to Metallica, you know, because like I like to say, why not? Well, fucking show how it's done, you know.
Load and reload.
No, I had no.
Well, no, but they're
no
not
problems
terrible,
paying for both nights.
Oh, no
sure
problems.
There,
well, they had so many speakers and so much cool shit that the sound quality at a stadium show. Stadium shows are not easy to get a good sound at.
Yeah, and it was 3 years in, so it was pretty perfected.
I mean, goddamn, that was good.
Yeah.
Wow. But I'm telling you,
I did have really poor vantage points just because I like to get around, and I found tall people to stand behind.
Oh, man. I'm going to make up a T-shirt that's for tall people that says, sorry, bro. And they're standing in front of you. It's the back of the T-shirt says, sorry, bro.
Yeah, no, I was there to dance during Pantera, and that's once I got my fill, it was good, dude.
Pantera. What's their peak?
Yeah, well, Pantera, they got
RBO and Driven, Straight Southern Trendkill. That's pretty fucking good. I don't know.
No one would say that.
There's no peak because Dimebag, they broke up.
No, yeah, so Far Beyond Driven's got to be their epoch and the hallmark of their career.
That was fucking so good. God damn, they're good.
And
what a great band.
And
God dang, Dimebag.
Of course.
Oh, and back to Van Halen and Dimebag Darrell's funeral. Eddie Van Halen, because Dimebag worshipped Eddie Van Halen, he put his classic black Bumblebee guitar,
the Bumblebee, yellow with
the casket with Dimebag Darrell when he died.
Yeah, and they just met each other like maybe within
Is that a Charvel guitar?
Yeah, I was wondering if you knew that. That sounds right. Yeah.
Charvel, it was a Charvel guitar. It's his black and
yeah, that's one of the ultimate.
But he walked up at the funeral. He walked up and put the guitar on top of Dimebag Darrell at the.
Ultimate.
Funeral, dude. Are you kidding me right now? That's just incredible.
Yeah, they
That's
were.
Amazing,
he recognized Dime's
when
reverence.
Put his guitars in your casket, dude. You're pretty good.
And then had to watch the man leave too early. So
man, that's just bullshit, man. But we digress. We were thinking about the podcast, but I digress.
I don't know how to bring up a contemporary topic in the realm that we're in, but how about let's see. There was another one you had. You've got 3 or 4 more, don't you?
Except Metal Heart, but that's a little lesser known one that people may bandy about. But Metal Heart was definitely the band. Except great German metal band, phenomenal German metal band. I mean, phenomenal metal band, but they happen to be German. But they
And then
we saw them in '85 was their peak on that tour. And it was the first concert that charged double-digit money at the Rainbow Music Hall. It was $10. We'd never paid more than $9. Well, for Metallica, it was $19.
And see, there's your
It was
perspective.
$10, dude. We were like $10. Wow, it's double digits, dude. But it was, wow, was it?
And no one's even aware of what
Rough
what
cut,
they
rough
missed.
cut. Hate that band.
Oh, really?
Rough cut, dude. I even here take a little piece of my heart.
Yeah, I
one
can
time,
believe
like
that.
Paul Sorrentino,
Set you
hit her
back.
right in the fucking mouth. That's
Like, why did I spend money on this?
Terrible. But that was an incredible concert.
Yeah, I get jealous when I hear you talk about that one, so I can understand there's a
Slept out 2 nights
huge
with that one,
perspective
too.
in that realm because they were on that out touring that album, like you're saying,
Yeah.
and there's something you witnessed in
still have the
our
shirt
legendary
with
Rainbow Music Hall here in Denver.
The shirt was they had the 1984 Balls to the Wall shirts for sale because they hadn't sold them all on the last tour.
Oh, so it's after the Balls to the Wall
the
record.
shirt says
Okay.
84, but the concert was in 85, and it was on the Metal Heart tour, which the album came out in 85.
That's right. Yeah, with like
No, yeah, it's so good.
Summer Nights. Is that on there?
No, Summer Nights.
Neon
Nights?
Winter Nights.
Neon Night? Oh, Cold Winter Nights. That's a great song, dude. A great kind of mellow song at the end of the. Is that the Breaker album?
Yeah, I don't know their discography
Yeah, I
that
think it's
much.
the Breaker album. Which is.
I think I did have a best of record actually.
Oh yeah, the best.
CD that is.
Yeah, I got all those ones. And what happened was, my friend Eric Anzelius was born in Stockholm, Sweden. He's got 2 older brothers, considerably older brothers, and he went back to visit him one summer. It was 1984, maybe 83, and he came back with the Restless and Wild album that had not been released in
No way.
And so we were listening to
Oh, that's
Restless and
too
Wild,
fresh.
and nobody knew what it was because they couldn't have because he flew the album back and it hadn't even crossed the pond yet. And so we were just blown away with Fast as a Shark. We thought it was so cool too. We play it for our parents, you know. Heidi, Hido, Hida, Heidi, Hido, Hido. Ah! It's one of the heaviest
So how many
songs of all time.
did Udo continue with the band after that?
Udo
Or?
did on Russian Roulette is the next album, which is just doesn't hold up. It's just not bad, but it was a tiny bit of a disappointment there.
Yeah, because you were
And that was
looking
Udo
for the
because-
next thing,
Well,
next
yeah,
big
we
thing.
were on a high. I mean, the Metal Heart was just absolutely incredible.
Right.
He opened up with that he plays a piece of classical music. I believe it's Tchaikovsky. He plays on the guitar, Wolf Hoffman.
Nah.
And it's just unbelievable.
Well, I think that
But
that begs for a whole delve into their repertoire because obviously
we could talk about like each of these subjects for like hours.
there might be some controversy there. I don't know.
Well, we're gonna have to.
I just don't know because I had the best of, so
Yeah. No,
I got it's kind of hard to.
well, that's
That's
because
what
of
kids
my.
these days know. I think. So.
Well, it's because my buddy Eric brought that album back, and then all of a sudden we were just diehard Accept fans because of that moment. And it was so cool that we knew about it before everybody else knew about it. You know.
Hell yeah.
It was that Cake
Oh, yeah, I
song
can imagine.
to prove that you knew of them first.
All right.
How do
Those
you
were the
how do
days
you
when
afford
we-
your rock and roll lifestyle?
Everybody was looking forward to the next release. I mean, it started.
Well, it
with,
was a little competition between us too. Like who knew? Oh, I knew about that band before you knew about that band, bro.
no, sure.
It was like a little competition for sure. We were trying to find the next band. When it was not easy to find bands and not easy to find shit like that.
That's why we come to the Johnny
we worked.
podcast.
That's
here.
why we know shit.
Johnny Concert knows
Anyway,
everything.
Well, let's wrap it up because we could talk about this forever. But that's few of some of our peak albums from long-term bands, and
Dozens of others that we need to
dozens
be
of others we could talk
reminded
about
of.
forever. But please leave a comment on your favorites. Leave a comment what you think about our choices, and
New topics are always welcomed.
bring it on. Yeah, give us your ideas for a topic, and love your body. Thanks for watching. Rock on. Thanks for Ledbelly. This is Johnny Contra signing off.